others. Last time you appeared in front of the committee, I raised a concern about the potential for, on our quieter roads, as we saw a few weeks ago, speeding. And the RAC have now revealed some truly shocking figures, with 2/3 of police forces catching people driving at more than 100 miles an hour. What are you doing to combat those extreme speeding incidents that have taken place on quieter roads during lockdown?
Yes, I've been very concerned about this, and you're absolutely right. You raised it with me, and I've been keeping a very close eye on it, and there has been an indication of increased road speeds. Partly that will be a statistical thing. There's less traffic on the road. People will end up, therefore, just travelling a bit quicker, not necessarily breaking the speed limit, but where it breaks the speed limit, that is a specific concern. And I know that the National Police Chiefs Council has launched speed enforcement operation to remind motorists over this. Our own Think campaign has been doing the same to remind motorists about the dangers of speeding. I do have some better news on this front, though, which is that the number of people killed and seriously injured has dropped by 70% during the lockdown period. So we've seen fewer road deaths. And despite the early days, but despite the traffic picking up again, we've not seen an increase in collisions and incidents. So I bring some good news, but share your broader concern.
That is good news. Is there anything specific you're going to do to try to build on that good news now, so that we don't end up, back where we perhaps
Yeah. I mean, we've settled. You'll know this well as a former chair of the Transport Select Committee. We've settled at about 1,700 to 1,800 road deaths a year, and that came down over a long period of time, over decades actually, and then it's sort of sat still for a number of years, plateaued. And I actually had a meeting with my own officials, partially on this subject yesterday, where we were talking about the role of technology in helping to prevent road deaths and injuries, serious injuries. So, for example, it's becoming now common technology that cars will detect, a front-end shunt, so that they put their own brakes on, lane adherence on motorways and A roads becoming common, and we were talking about it in the context of future more artificial intelligence orientated cars, which are actually able to change lanes as well automatically, and the potential for a machine, frankly, to do it more safely than a human being, and all of those sort of things. So I think technology is one aspect of it. More immediate, though, the Think campaign has been working on this, so the work within the department to focus on reminding people, particularly on what have been emptier roads, of the importance of not speeding. And then use of technology elsewhere. So, for example, the ability of the insurance sector to link lower insurance premiums to safer driving, not breaking speed limits and that sort of thing, through having a black box in your car. So things like that. I think all of these things should help us to start to suppress the serious injuries and deaths on our roads and get down below the plateau that we seem to have hit. I should add, for the purposes of accuracy, that we have amongst the safest roads in the world. This country has a really fabulous, probably wrong if anyone's being killed, but a notable safety record by comparison with nearly every other country in the world. I think second or third best. But there is more we can do if 1,700 people are dying a year.
It's too many.
Absolutely.
Thanks. I'll hand back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Lilian. And before we move to walking